Howdy folks, TJ here. Gonna show you a video here shortly. It was a Patreon and YouTube member only video that I did about a month ago. It was me repairing or replacing a belt on a turntable. I thought it would just make a fun video of, typically I'll make a video, I'll chat about life, I'll chat about whatever's on my mind, and I'll do something. I normally don't repair things. In this case, I wanted to play a record, a vinyl, an LP from a Specky game. That TX 1696 game, it came with an LP. So I wanted to get my turntable fixed. So I decided to make a video and I thought it'd be fun, and I made it a patrons only. So I thought I'd talk about that a little bit and then show you the video. And I want to invite you to check out my Patreon page, and I'm going to read off, and I think it's important to thank those that are helping support this channel. I've kind of mentioned it before that I need to keep the lights on. And any support that I get from the videos that I make on YouTube, people often think that YouTubers make a lot of money. I've got 7,000 members now. I just hit 7,000. Yay, by the way. But yeah, we don't. If you go to socialblade.com and type in Max Society, which is my YouTube channel, you'll see that it says that I make between $6 to $80 a month. That's pretty accurate. Typically about $50 to $75 a month is what I make from Google AdSense after making a video practically every other day, spending hours doing stuff. You just don't make a lot of money. This is done from the love of whatever I'm doing. But it is also nice to make a little bit of money so I can help keep the channel running, because my internet alone is $120 a month. You can kind of do the math. If I make $50 to $75 a month, and with Google, you can't extract that money until you hit $100. So when you hit $100, you can then take it out. So it takes me over 2 months, because after you do 2 months of stuff to get over that $100, it then takes another 20 some odd days to get the money. So needless to say, no, I don't make a lot of money. It's enough to basically help keep my internet going. The other part is Patreon or YouTube memberships. So these dollars that people throw at me, $1, $2, all that adds up, and it basically pays for my internet every month, which is great. If I'm going to keep this channel rolling, I need to kind of keep it semi-self-sufficient in terms of, if I don't have enough channel members and people watching my videos, I don't need $120 a month internet. I can go back to old satellite internet that has limited gigabytes of speed and throughput that I can upload and download stuff to a channel. That's the only reason, or one of the main reasons I went, because satellite internet is dirt slow, and you only get 20 gigabytes of data per month. People blow through that in an hour, most people. So yeah, it costs a lot of money to kind of keep the channel going. And if I can at least kind of keep my payments about level, I'm happy. And so if you're not a Patreon, if you're not a YouTube channel member, it would be great if you could come aboard as low as $1 a month. It's not much. And I've also created a new Patreon membership that I'll talk about here in a moment. But I want to give a series of thanks first. I've got 25 Patreon members. That, at least with Patreon, is nice, because every month you get paid. You don't have to wait till you hit a certain threshold. So between Patreon and this, I pay for my internet, which is great, and I can keep the lights on. Literally, there's a light over there on, so you can see me. So I'm going to name off some names. I want to thank you for being a Patreon, and then I'll also thank the YouTube channel members, which are two different areas. Patreon is Patreon. You go to patreon.com. I've got a page there. I put links up to all the videos that I make, and I've got different tiers of memberships that you can do there, different perks. YouTube has the same kind of thing, and there's memberships that you could do there. So if you don't want to do Patreon, you could do YouTube by clicking on the join button in any of my videos and select what tier you would like to do. And every month they take 30% cut, but I'll get a dollar or two or whatever, and all that adds up over time. So either way, you'll get your name and ending credits in most of my videos, and we'll chat about that a little bit more. And then we'll roll into this video of me replacing a belt on a turntable, which I think will be actually handy for somebody that may have the old Ion. These old cheap turntables have a very similar belt replacement, so it may be beneficial for somebody else. So anyway, thank you goes to Martin Budernowski, hopefully I pronounced that right, Dennis Roberts, David McElroy, James Delgarno, John Tomic, Karsten Lervad, Crisis, Charles Hawes, the one and only anonymous guy, Dave Gerling, Crimson Jedi, Alexander Fassini, Matt Orchard, Wanderlei Cheskim, Dave Carroll, Dusan Seedlow, Eric Lamb, Casey Nidal, Darius Powers, Jeremiah Stoddard, Charles Dottie, Neil Ward, Mark Slorence, Krister Gordon, and Bob Boo. All those are Patreon members. Then I have about 8 YouTube members: Tim Krug, Black Panther Gaming, Ghetto Finger Gaming, PJ Nealand, Gertzy, the Intellivision Gamer, TV's Hasselhoff, and Casey Nidal. A couple of these people are on multiple. Casey Nidal, as example, is the Intellivision Gamer. He's got a wonderful YouTube channel and Facebook group. So if you're into Intellivision, he is the dude. In fact, he just recently picked up a rare, only 3 known, I think right now, original Intellivision that's not called Intellivision, it's something else. Go to his channel, you'll see it, but it's worth a lot of money, and he got it for a wonderful price. So Casey supports me in multiple areas, and he also supports the channel by sending me goodies to do reviews on. Every bit helps. So thank you to all you folks for helping support the channel monetarily or by sending things for me to do reviews on. I appreciate it. Again, I'll put the links down below. Patreon, they have a free Patreon, but if you do that, you're not going to get in the credits or anything. That's just somebody looking at my page. But if you're doing anything paying monthly, whether it's through YouTube channel membership or Patreon membership, I'm going to call out your name in credits, and we're going to just say big thank you. I wanted to end this with, I just added a new tier. So on Patreon, I've got a tier for $1, $2, and $4. They were basically levels of booze. I called it Buy TJA Brew. That's what I based it on because along with keeping my internet going, you're maybe also supporting and buying me a beer once in a while. So I had one just called, a brew, and then a brew and a shot of whiskey. And so I had these different tiers. There's some folks that have said, hey, if you had a higher tier, I would kind of support you. Because I like what you do. I like your videos. You give me a laugh every week. And just want to, throw a couple dollars your way to say thank you for what I'm doing. So I decided to make a new $15 tier. It's kind of more of like a sponsorship in a way. $15 a month. You get all the other tier things and perks. But you're also going to, at the ending credits, my ending credit is a scroll bar that scrolls down the names rather quickly. You can view them, but it gives your name and that's a thank you. But for any of the $15 sponsorships, or I'm calling it a keg o' beer and a barrel of whiskey, I'm calling it the top tier. It's $15 a month, and you're going to have at the ending credits, before I do the ending credits, a full page where I'm going to ask you to send me a picture, whether it's of you, your family, your website, something that means something of value to you. You'll send it to me, and there'll be a big splash page. I'm going to say probably 10 seconds or so, and it will come up and say, I want to give a special thank you to Blunk, and it will have your image up, and that way people kind of see you on the forefront. If you've got a YouTube channel, you could put the URL, whatever it is that you send me. You gotta have clothes on though. If you're naked and nude, I can't show that on the YouTubes. So you gotta keep it within a PC, what's that called? Whatever, a category of people able to view it. And so you'll get a big kind of sponsorship type of credit saying, hey, thanks for that. I really appreciate it. And then of course, all the other things I do. And I'll call your name out more periodically. I may say, hey, this video is sponsored by such and such because they're such a valued member and helping keep my channel alive. So that's it on there. So this whole intro was to say thank you to my Patreons and YouTube channel members. And now let's roll into a video I made. I had this old Ion turntable I purchased for my wife. I think 10 plus years ago, and the belt, I turned it on for the first time, we never used it, and it wouldn't turn, and I found that the belt was broken. So I thought, let's make a little techie video of me replacing the belt. The good news is it worked. It made the turntable turn. The bad news is I made a video of playing a record album, and it sounded kind of fast. And other people started saying, I think it's playing a little fast. So I did repair my turntable, but there's something else wrong with it. I couldn't get the speed adjusted. I know the belt was installed right because I tried it another 10 times, and a 33 RPM album was playing at like 49. Like chipmunks. So a little too fast. So what did I do? I went out and bought a new turntable. A very nice one that I'm going to make a video for here in the near future. But until then, if you own one of those more cheaper, run-of-the-mill Ion turntables or turntables that have the same type of architecture, they're not really expensive, but they do play records. There's a belt that can break over time, and it's relatively easy to replace, and I show you how to do it. And so your turntable may be one that can use this video, a little kick in the ass to go fix your own turntable so you can play some records. Anyway, hopefully you enjoy this video. Again, it was about a month ago I did it. It was a Patreon only. I do those videos once in a while where I'll do a Patreon or YouTube channel member only video, and it'll be whatever it is. So anyway, thanks for watching the video, and hopefully you enjoy this presentation of me repairing a turntable, putting a new belt in, and commentary along the way. Thanks for watching. Bye. Howdy folks, TJ here. This is a behind the scenes for my patrons and YouTube members. I thought for the heck of it, I would try to repair, and it's not a big in-depth repair, but nevertheless, it is a repair of my Ion turntable, and that is 8-bit or computer-oriented. Why? Because this album, or vinyl, or LP, whatever you want to call it, some people, I think the more mucky-mucks call it vinyl. It's a vinyl, but I call it an album, an LP, a record. The TX 1696, which is a actual album that came with my video game called TX 1696. And for the video that I did, the unboxing and the first test of the game, I wanted to play some samples of that, but the Ion turntable didn't work. This is something I purchased for my wife, brand new, from Fry's Electronics for Christmas, I'm going to guess 10 years ago. And so it sat, never used it, never played an LP on it. And so I thought I'd bring it out. When I brought it out, I turned it on, and I heard a motor, but there was no spinny of the turntable, which typically means there's probably a culprit, a rubber belt, that has went bad. Now, I've had rubber belt experiences before. Did I start this recording? I better double check. Yes, I did. I Googled, YouTubed, and the beauty about YouTube is you can become a instant mechanic by watching somebody else's video. This seems like a fairly easy repair, but I thought, okay, there must be a belt or something in here. I went in there, and the belt that I pulled out was a rubber belt, and it was broken right here where I've got the tape and some hair that's stuck to the tape. I taped it together because I wanted to get the full diameter size of this rubber belt. The nice thing is it wasn't galactic goo. I guess maybe it turns into galactic goo on cassette players from the 70s and 80s, because I went through 2 or 3 or 4 iterations of buying, and let me lean off camera for a second because my nose is draining because I got bad allergies. Anyway, they were galactic goo. A lot of belts from those things in those days just turned into goo. I don't know why they would turn into goo. You think they would just get brittle and crack and break, but belts from old, whatever they put in them, petroleum or I don't know, dinosaur guts, they just fell apart, but then became goo. And once you played that thing, that goo got wrapped around every little component in the cassette player. Oh, it took me forever to clean some of them. Anyway, yeah, so I was thinking, I hope it's not that. So maybe 10 years, you're okay. Beyond that, that's when you start getting sketchy. So I got onto the, I wanted to see if I could buy a new belt from Ion, but it wasn't something readily available, it didn't look like. So I went onto the Amazons and the Googles and the eBays, and I found a place that sold a package of 11 different size rubber belts that seemed to be about similar in size, in terms of the diameter of it. Because you'll see that this is, I don't know, about 1/4 of an inch in diameter, and it, not diameter, but width. How do you measure a belt? Anyway, I bought one, and I kind of did a measurement. They say that you're supposed to get the measurement, basically, of the diameter of it. Or would you do this, and how many inches is that? Well, it ended up being, I think, about 8 inches. So I went onto this, and they have it all in millimeters. I'm in the U.S. I call everything inches, feet, pounds. I don't do any of those kilometer things. Anyway, I found one that looked pretty close, and I'm hoping that it's not too tight, not too loose, and that it works. I forget what I paid for this package of different belts, and I'm thinking there must be something at some point I will use one of these other belts for. I've got a VHS player that the door no longer opens from the 1970s and 80s. Maybe one of these be the right one. Odds are not. But anyway, it was, I think, $12.99, $13.99 for a pack of 11 of different sizes. And I thought one of them would be, this one would be close enough. I actually got the two. I taped this one together because it cracked, and then a piece broke off as well. So you'll see a couple of pieces of tape. And then I kind of held it up, and it looks very close, very close. And when these breaks in here, maybe it would be exact if I taped it better or something. But we're going to try to do this. So this is an Ion turntable. This little thing had so much cat hair and dust and fuzzy stuff. It's like a little felt type of liner thing. And then this pulls off. There is a little C-clamp, and I put it in a little baggie so I wouldn't lose it, that you had to pop off with a screwdriver, which I've done already. And I put that in a baggie. That was smart. But last night I woke up in the middle of the night, 1 o'clock, and I go, did I save that C-clip? Did I just put the C-clip on here and then it fell off on the floor and my wife vacuumed it up? I was nervous because I don't want to have to find an exact C-clip because it's probably not locked in. I wouldn't have one. I don't have any. I don't have a box of C-clips out in the garage. Anyway, so this whole thing, once you popped off the little C-clip, this thing just lifts off. The rubber belt supposed to be wrapped around this, and I'm not going to show you close-ups, but there's a little motor. Oh, I'll go ahead and show you. What the hell? You're here to watch this fun video. Let me go ahead and try to hone in a little closer so you can kind of see the guts of it. So there's this little motor here, and I believe it spins, at least when I connect electricity to it. That belt needs to wrap around this and then wrap around the plastic housing of this. So that whole thing needs to run around that motor and this thing at the same time. So you got to kind of stretch it over. Let me put this back up here, and maybe I'll focus in just a little bit more. You're not here to, the odds are you don't have this exact Ion player, but this supposedly works on a lot of different Ion models. Anyway, so what it says is get new belt, and I kind of lined it up, and like I said, it looks pretty dang similar and close. So the Google's, does Google on YouTube? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, it says put this around this, and I'm doing all this live for you. Put it around here, and make sure it is kind of around here, and it is, but let me push it down a little bit. So you put it around this little spindle. Then you got to get it around this motor. Supposedly there's little teats. I don't know if you're going to see this teat, but there's a little teat here. I got to pull this belt up over the teat, and then when you put it on here and spin it, it helps guide and put the belt around it, because trying to do this and put it over is not going to work. But some brilliant designer figured, okay, here's the teat. The one that's got the hole so you can see what you're doing, kind of, but maybe not. So now I've got to stretch this rubber belt over this. So bear with me for a second. You know, old clumsy hands and blind eyes and very bad lighting over here doesn't help the cause, but I got to stretch this over the teat. Where are you, teat? It's like a cow udder. I need a big cow udder sized teat. See, that's why you're a patron. You're paying a few extra dollars to hear me talk about teats. Thank you for being a patron and a YouTube member. I appreciate it. Every little bit of money helps me keep the lights on for you. And my lights are a little dim right now. So hopefully I get more patrons down the road, because then I can do more of these weird videos. Anyway, so now you've got it. See, it's stretched around here. This, supposedly, I'm going to put this on here, and it's going to help wrap it around that motor. And then I got to put the C-clip back on it. And like I said, I'm kind of blind, so this is not easy. So I'm going to supposedly put this over the hole and line up that little motor thing. And then as I do that, spin it. Okay, I feel it's more grippy now. Maybe too grippy. Okay, there we go. It feels like it's, maybe it fell off. I don't know. Maybe I better test it before I put the C-clip back on. Okay, hold on. Let me plug this thing in. So I should have had it plugged in before, kind of, but I don't want to electrocute myself. But I think, let me push this over. I need to plug it into electricity. Where am I going to find electricity? Someplace. I got electricity over here. I got a thing underneath there. But now let me spin this around. Where's the hole? Where's the hole? It's back here someplace. Okay, there it is. DC. Turn this over here. Okay, now I got to go find an electrical outlet. So let me push this back here. I know I've got down here. I'm under the desk now. I've got a surge strip. That's a little far away, but I think I could get this plugged in. And push this back in here. So now let's see if, I think, did I just move the camera? No, I think it's still there. Okay, shimmy in. So now supposedly I should be able to turn this. Oh no, there's a power button in the back. Okay, I've got this. So power button, where's power button? And then when I do this, no, nothing happened. Did I even turn it on? Oh God. Where's my flashlight? I can't see shit. Oh, I had it on over here. The son of a bee is still spinning. I'm going to take, okay. No, hold this up. There we go. Oh, you can hear my finger going off the speakers. This thing is spinning. I did it. So now I got to put the C-clip back on. So this was the special video. I'm going to make now a video for the YouTubes, me playing TX 1696, but I wanted to show a repair video. TJ's doing something brilliant. He fixed this. Now, I'm probably going to cut my fingers putting the C-clip back on, but I just did a repair. I saved myself. Now we could try it. Now, I don't know if it's going the right speed, if the rubber band's going to stretch and fall off, but I just did a repair. I feel proud of myself. You know, some people wouldn't even try to do that. I'm brave enough to try to put a rubber belt back on. That's it. So thanks for watching this special behind-the-scenes video of me repairing a turntable. It was a relatively cheap repair, say under 15 bucks. I got a new rubber belt. And luckily, this one wasn't galactic goo and made a mess. So if you've got an ion turntable, very likely, because I watched some other video, the one that I saw said most any of the ions have that same drive mechanism, which is pretty easy, really, to put this belt back on. Now, the C-clip may be a little bit of a thing. I'm going to probably pop it, and it's going to go bing, 3D going towards the camera, and then I'll say, bastard, really loud. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. I'm going to put the C-clip back on here. We'll make a video later today or tomorrow of playing a few snippets from the LP vinyl record album for the TX 1696. Thanks for watching the video, and thanks again for being a Patreon or YouTube member. I really appreciate you doing that and helping support my efforts over on my YouTube channel. Thank you. Bye.